Utilities Commission. Today's Thursday, March 28th. Call to order. Roll call.
Thank you. Chairman Burgett, or Burgett.
Here.
Sorry. Vice Chairman Parker. Here. Commissioner Orr. Okay, that's right. He's excused. Commissioner Scheffler.
Here.
Commissioner Van Zant.
Here.
Commissioner Retberg, we're expecting. Commissioner Yarish.
Here.
And Council Liaison Nelson. We have a quorum.
Okay, the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 1, approval of the minutes for January 24th, 2019. Motion to approve. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And it's approved. Consideration of public comments. We don't have anybody from the public here tonight, but those wishing to address the Municipal Utilities Commission need not request permission in advance. Action taken as a result of public comments will be limited to directing staff to study the matter or rescheduling the matter to consideration and decision at a later time pursuant to ARS 38-431 et al. Okay, item number 3, new business. Review and recommendation of request for water service to an unsubdivided parcel at 2330 Golf Drive, parcel number 303-01-203, engineering 19-0015.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This is a request for a water service for a single-family home, 2330 Golf Drive. Normally, single-family homes don't come to this commission, but since this is an unsubdivided parcel, the utility regulations require that this type of parcel come before the commission and then ultimately receive city council approval. Staff has no objection to this request. There's an 8-inch water across the frontage of the property, sewer as well that they will connect. Applicant is not here, but he was here a couple years ago for the home south of the one he's proposing to build. Staff recommend approval of this. And I'll have any questions.
The commissioners have a chance to review the item. Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll motion that we grant.
Is there a second? Moved and seconded to approve the water service to an unsubdivided parcel at 233 Golf Drive. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, old business, review and discussion of capital improvement projects.
Good evening, Commissioners. My understanding is that there was just wanting a little bit of discussion on the status of the current capital projects. And so before I begin, I just open it up for specific questions. Otherwise, I was going to show you something that's currently on our website, and it basically goes through all of our capital projects. And I was just going to scroll through it and go through the water and sewer projects that we have for this fiscal year. So if there's any specific questions, we can start with those. Otherwise, I can just go through the web map here and show you the different projects that we have on the books.
Mr. Shuffler, this was your item. You have anything you want to?
No, I just kind of wanted to get caught up. I know at some previous meetings, we had determined to leave the extra funds and everything going into the city to fund some of these capital improvement projects. And I was kind of curious as far as which one are more important than the other ones, which I realized that's listed in priority. But more than anything else, just an update on what you
Okay. So I thought it'd be interesting for all of you to see, but on the city's website, we have a GIS page. And on that page, right here, we have a list of our 2019 capital projects. And so anytime you guys want to see anything, we're still tinkering with it, but I'll show you some of the features of the map, but it will show what we currently have budgeted this fiscal year. And so the only thing that I would mention is on this, it has all of our capital projects. So I might scroll through like the street ones and stuff like that and just only focus on the water and sewer. On the left-hand side is kind of like you can scroll with your mouse. And so as you scroll through the different projects, the map on the right-hand side will update to show you where the location of the project is. You can actually click on it, and it'll come up with additional information of the project, what it is, who's responsible for it, what the budget is, and then as it goes into construction, we're supposed to go in and update it with information. So that being said, I'm going to scroll through all of the water projects. The automated meter reading, and maybe Rob can talk a little bit more to this one than I can. We're going to roll out a pilot project where we're going to try to do an area with automatic meter reading. They're a little bit smarter meters, and it'll help us get more information on usage, and hopefully they'll be a little more accurate than what we got right now. And it will also help with the collection of the reads that we do. It should streamline it a lot better. Right now, this project, we're moving it to next fiscal year. I don't think we plan on doing anything with it this fiscal year.
We were going to try to do a we're trying to come up with a representative sample of our meter inventory, issue a testing program, exactly how far we draw.
I have a question on that. These the electronic meter reading, are you using the existing meters and adding something to that, and that's the meter, or
I think it'd be a full replace.
In all probability,
do those have a indicator on them that can be read visually, or is it strictly electronically?
well, the two options we have: fixed base system, all towers, meters for transmission towers. Here, that's a great system. Expensive. Drive-by system. Yeah. Which we're going to pick up 80-90%.
But I don't think there's an analog gauge on the automatic ones, though. Like you wouldn't be able to flip the lid and look at it.
Or make it harder on the plumber.
Use your ears.
Exactly, we're going to listen to it now.
I'd like to ask security. Good. Whenever we get into things like the internet or anything else where we're talking about electronic data, is this stuff encrypted? Is it in plain text? Is it accessible to other people?
Now, generally, it's encrypted.
But
We have touch reads right now.
okay, but it's not something that a person going down the street, if they had the frequency, if they did pick up the signal, it's not in plain text.
No.
But all it would have would be the usage. I mean, it wouldn't have any personal identifying information, but it is encrypted.
If you have the usage and you could get into it, just afraid with proper technology, change that.
Yeah,
usage.
alter it. Yeah.
I don't know if they'd be worth it. Small one. Some of these.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
So the next one on this list is the Bill Street sewer replacement. This is a small project over here on Bill Street. We're trying to get rid of a sewer line that's going underneath private property and practically underneath the building. We're actually, this one's going to be starting in the next few weeks. So we're currently in for state approval right now for it. So that will be coming up, should last about 2 to 3 weeks. Beverly Burke Sewer Extension, this is just another area that has been identified as high potential for septic failures and thus potential future connections. This project is currently under design, and it probably won't start construction till later. Chestnut Sewer Line is similar to the Bill Street. This is an area where we have sewer main kind of going underneath the building. So we're just trying to fix it. We haven't started design on this, but we will soon. Likely would get built next fiscal year. Chloride sewer line replacement and repair. This is an issue of aging infrastructure. It's a very shallow line. It's been giving us problems. Currently, we have yet to start design, so this one will start design this fiscal year, and it would likely get constructed next year. City Well 10 equipping and transmission main. This is the outfitting of an entire new well out towards the airport. This will help us get redundancy on the east bench for our water system. So we view this as one of our critical projects. Design is wrapping up, and so we will likely bid this next fiscal year, where the budget came in a little bit higher than what we anticipated, so we're rebudgeting for next CIP cycle, but we intend to start this immediately next fiscal year. Devlin Avenue Sewer Line Project. This is a project that the county approached us, and we thought it would be good. They have a lot of septic failures out in this area, and we're basically combining CDBG. Well, the county committed to use their CDBG funds to connect people if we built the line. And so we thought it was a good opportunity. This project is currently under design. Depending on how quickly the design goes, we could start it this fiscal year. There is a time frame that we have to get it done so that the county can use their CDBG funds. This one's just in general. It's our distribution lines. Most of these are going to be in areas where we have really old, aging infrastructure, and so we're trying to replace water lines within our system that are old or undersized. You'll see probably in the future a lot of projects may end up out in the Butler area because that's where it's the oldest and the smallest. But we also are trying to, at the same time, balance it with enhancing our system to improve looping so that we get better fire flow in different areas. So it's hard to see on this map, but this fiscal year, this is where we have some of our projects in blue. These right now, we're wrapping up design, and we should start getting bids for them here pretty quick. One down here in downtown is actually almost complete. The construction's complete. We're just working on our final paperwork to get it out over to the state so we can get it into service. Downtown sewer outfall line. This is also a very high priority for us. The main line that goes to our downtown sewer treatment plant is located in a wash. And over the last few years, we've been seeing a little bit of an issue, and with this last storm in October, this picture right here is actually our crews out there fixing one of the stanchions that was holding the pipe up. And so this project is currently under design, and we will be starting construction sometime next year. On that one, Gold Road Avenue sewer repair and replacement. Again, this is just an old line that runs across private property. And we just want to get it into the right of way. It's very shallow. We've had a lot of maintenance issues with this line. We haven't started design on this, so likely we'll finish up design this fiscal year, and it'll go into construction sometime next year. Jacobson Avenue increased pipe diameter. This project's taken on a new life with the October storm. So if I can maybe zoom out on this map a little bit more. Mojave Wash is over here. So there's an existing sewer line that crosses Mojave Wash that this line, or that this project was associated with. With all the flows that we got in the Mojave Wash, we realized that we needed to improve the crossing first before we do this project, increasing the diameter. There's a little bit of a pinch point right here. That's why we had identified it to maybe do some improvements. But what we're focusing now on is improving the wash crossing. And then once we're done with the wash crossing, we'll look at the rest of the line. We'll pass the interchanges. Main tanks transmission. This is another priority for us. Right now, the only way that we have to fill our main tanks that serves most of the Stockton Hill area is through the distribution center. So we have to push a lot of pressure into the system to get it to go up the hill and fill the tanks. We're trying to, and we've done a previous phase, but we're building a dedicated transmission main to those tanks so that we can fill them faster and more efficiently, and not beat our system to death as we're trying to fill it. Design is complete. We are talking with the contractor. We hope to start. We had to break this project up into two phases. The first phase will end right by the Mojave Wash on Keno, and it'll start here on Arizona Street in Keno. But we hope to start this project this fiscal year. It'll likely carry over into next fiscal year with the construction. Monsoon Park Infiltration Basin, technically, I guess this is a water project. With the aquifer issues that we're looking at, we're trying to identify areas where we can do some recharge, and we're going to put in a little infiltration basin in the corner of Monsoon Park on Eastern and Southern, and that one I think should be under construction soon.
Yeah, we have a construction. Could be done.
Pasadena Avenue sewer line extension. This is just an area, again, with high potential for connections in the future. We would be extending a sewer line just north of Pasadena and west of Harrison. This will be in the alley. We have not yet started design on this one. We will start it this fiscal year, and will likely get pushed into subsequent fiscal year for construction. Reclaimed water injection. This is another project where we're addressing the aquifer right now at our Hilltop Wastewater Treatment Plant. All of our effluent just goes into Mojave Wash. This project would allow us to inject our effluent back into the aquifer. We're still currently in design. I think an RFQ went out for some test wells. Is that what it was?
Well drillers contract. Council.
What effluent grade level that we're putting back in?
Be treating to A+. Now we can do anything else. Close to
Right along those same lines. I know at one time we were really pushing to try to sell that water. We didn't do any good as far as trying to sell it.
We had done a study a few years ago looking at the possibility of sending it over to port, industrial region, developing it back to the golf course, at you. Other option was protection. What we found was a distribution system. Still had off-peak. Of course, how that water runs wasn't that much of a market. It being start more expensive. At least it's more expensive. Start with a $2 million project. Start with leaving open the option. Since that time, happens.
Just a quick question. Is there performance issues with the city wells by any chance? Are they declining?
I mean, just anecdotally, seen is average. That varies. Kind of was a reason.
Okay, so this is just proactive, trying to be proactive with regards to recharge. I like that. Good job.
The next slide here is just it's a general one for sewer extension capital projects. One that's shown here is a sewer line on Arizona Street in Keno. We had identified this as a potential pinch point that would possibly that we would need to look at to accommodate some growth in different parts of town. Right now, we've got this project on hold. We're restudying it just to make sure that now's the time to do it. And so more to come on this one. Sewer GIS mapping. This is just stuff that allow us to make these nice interactive maps and help us inventory what's on our site or what's in our system. Ultimate goal is we'll be able to start analyzing this information and making smarter decisions about our structure. This is just a general sewer line replacement. At times, our sewer crews come across something that needs to be replaced or fixed, and that's what this line item in the budget is for, is to address those on an as-needed basis. Sewer slip lining and repair is very similar. We've identified different areas that are in need of rehab, and slip lining is a viable option in some of these areas. This fiscal year, we're going to focus on the area over by Western and Gordon. My understanding is that we are talking with the contractor now, so that should get underway in the next month or so, be completed before the end of the fiscal year. Stockton Hill waterline replacement. I'm sure all of you have seen this one, and project's going well. It is a big disruption, but this project was to help us address a couple different things. The water lines there are pretty old. They've been failing. We've had multiple leaks in that area. And then we're also upsizing the lines so we can better address fire flow needs in the commercial corridor there. Construction is underway. Hope to be done by the end of April. So,
how much of that line is move and replace existing?
So all of it. We're not keeping any of it. So we're installing water lines on both sides of Stockton Hill Road from Airway to Gordon. So it's a complete replace. And so, there are two 12-inch lines, one on each side of the road, and then we'll connect everyone into the new lines.
That's ductile iron pipe?
It's ductile iron pipe. Storage tank restoration. We try to do this every other year. We're going to rehab one of our storage tanks at our main tank farm off Anson Smith Road. Timing was such that we weren't able to get it procured in the winter months, which is when we want to do something like this when water demand is low. So we will move this to next winter. Sycamore Avenue storm drain, not necessarily a water sewer project, but we've been working to try to, this whole area in the vicinity of Western, Sycamore, Beverly sees a lot of water. We're proactively trying to get out there with storm drain to help get it into the pipes instead of the streets. The next phase was slated to be Sycamore. We're still working on design. We'll see if we can get it under construction in the future. Tucker Street realignment. This is another one of those. We have a sewer line going right underneath the Best Western. So we want to get that out into the city right away. We have not started design on this, but we will start it shortly and get it procured next fiscal year. Valentine Avenue sewer line extension. Again, this is one of those old parts of town where there are a lot of septic failures and so high potential for connection. We have started design on it. Likely won't go to construction until the future. Well 11 surge tank. This is a project out at one of our well sites over by the airport. Surge tanks allow us to absorb surges in the water line. When you have basically 200 feet of water barreling back down at your pumps, we got to have something to help protect them from the water hammer. And so this actually has been designed. We probably are going to push this off to next fiscal year. This site does have what we call a surge anticipating valve that helps us with that, and so we're going to push it back just a little bit. Wastewater infiltration projects. This has been an ongoing project that we're trying to address. Every time it rains, we get a lot of water in our sewer system, particularly in the downtown area. And the problem is with our downtown treatment plant. When we get really, really large storms, it pushes our plant to capacity. And so one, that's not good for us. We need to reduce that. And two, we don't want to be treating water that we don't need to treat. And so we've been actively going through the downtown area trying to, right now the low-hanging fruit are the manholes. We're trying to identify manholes that are in areas that would see a lot of infiltration, and we're going in and rehabbing those and making them where water doesn't go in as easily. So we were able to get some of these done, and this is just an ongoing project we'll continue to work on. Water GIS mapping, same thing as the sewer stuff. It's just coming out of a different fund. Again, this is something that allows us to keep working on getting the necessary tools so that we can start doing smart analysis of our system. And I believe that is the last one. So if there are any other questions, I'm happy to entertain.
Emergency repairs. In the budget, how close are we spending? Let's take, for an example, downtown. If that line fails, if it falls off the pedestal down there, and we've got a walleye mess with cleanup in it, do we have emergency money set off to the side, and are we running real close with these capital improvements?
You've got contingency funding, water fund. Also, got a regular operation.
It's planned in the budget. Thank you.
Any other questions?
The other commissioners have any comments? Right. A good presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to number 5, announcements by commission members, limited to announcements of availability or attendance at conferences, seminars, requests for agenda items, future meetings, and requests for reports from staff. No discussion on any of these items. Commissioners, do you have any announcements? Any down there? Okay. Move on to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Second? Second. Get that? Mike? Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.